Alright, so what's up guys? So we are out here on another run. Running out here in this super duper hot weather. And trying to cross the street real quick as we got someone stopping for us. Thankfully, we are very thankful for that. And we will make our way over and across the bridge because that's just another part of our run. Right, another part of the day for us today. Right, our grandiose day of running. And you know, for us, one of the big goals in running, I don't know about you, right, is to get a six-pack, right, to lose that body fat that's required to get it. Because I don't know about you, but you know, I want that, right? Specifically as a goal of mine, right? And once you have it, you want to maintain it and shape it, right? And be proud of it, right? That's something to be proud of, right? Not too many people out here have a visible six-pack, right? Although everyone has one, you got to bring it out. And that brings us to point number one, which is that everyone has one. So, you know, you can do as many crunches as you want, but the true six-pack is made in the kitchen, right? That old cliche that you've probably heard a million times, right? And I can't agree with it anymore, right? Any further, right? I love it because it's so true, right? How many people do you see that don't have six-packs or are trying to get one are doing every single type of crunch exercise imaginable, right? They're really trying to work on their six-pack when in reality they simply have to lose the body fat that's covering it, right? The six-pack is not going to magically form on its own on top of a cluster of belly fat, right? And that's one of the hardest places to lose fat, is right there on the belly, right? They can tend to accumulate there, right? And just hang out there, right? It's a cool, trendy spot for the fat to simply sit there and, you know, collect itself, right? And grow, which is not good if you want the six-pack. And, you know, for you, what you got to do is figure out a way to improve your diet plan, right? Focus on shedding those calories, right? In order to get that six-pack to come out, right? And it doesn't require so much heavy lifting, right? You don't have to lift a ton of weights and break a sweat, essentially, you know, to improve your diet and put yourself well on the way to obtaining that six-pack. And, you know, that brings us to point number two, right? What do you actually want to do when you have that diet figured out? Because like that, it may not be enough on its own to get you that six-pack. It's not just exercise, right? Although some people may get there, but, you know, to make it easier, you combine that diet with some exercise, right? And, you know, this exercise is, you know, specifically cardio workouts, right? It's not really heavy lifting, right? It's not going in there and pumping a bunch of iron, right? It has to do with simply raising our heart rate and burning that fat, right? And there's different ways to do it, right? You don't have to go out and run for hours upon hours like we do, right? That's only if you're a crazy nut like me that likes to do this stuff. But for you, there's different ways, right? You can ride a bike, right? You can go upstairs, right? There's different ways for you to simply get moving and get your cardiovascular system working, because that's what it boils down to, right? It's not your upper body, your lower body in a sense, although those are byproducts, right? They're secondary muscle groups being used in different workouts. But even like me, I'm not necessarily only using my legs for cardio. I'm using my arms right? I'm juggling and juggling and juggling to burn more fat at the same time as running, right? Which in and of itself is a very taxing exercise. And for you can figure out different little tricks, right, to burn fat faster, right? Wear a hoodie, right, and make yourself sweat, right? Because that's what your body has to do to burn weight. You gotta sweat, you gotta release those toxins that are in your body, essentially, harming you. Right? That's why they're called toxins. They're no good. And, to get a six-pack, that's one way that you gotta do it. And this brings us to point number 3 in order to obtain that six-pack, and that comes down to doing your crunches, right? And you can't, I highly suggest you not start doing this until you got points 1 and 2 down, right? Because those are more important than this one. But once you got those figured out, right, or you started working on them, why not add a few crunches, planks, right, into the mix, right? Hanging leg raises if you're up to that point yet level right now. And what that will do is it will build your core strength, right? Because you can bring that core out all you want, but through losing the weight, but it's not actually strong. It's noticeable, right? You can notice when someone has a strong set of abs and when they don't, because you'll see it. It'll be chiseled, it'll be defined, but it just won't be these simple blocks, right? As it appears just like notches on your stomach, right? It'll have specific curvature to it, right? They'll be like cut from stone, if you've ever heard that phrase, right? When it comes down to bodybuilding. And that's gonna come from actually doing the reps in the gym, right? Which you can start doing. You can start cutting your abs up, right, when you don't see them, so when they come out they will look nice and pristine. But try to do that when you got points 1 and 2 down, when you got the diet and cardio work figured out. And from that you'll be able to sculpt your abs and make them look nice and beautiful. And this brings us into point number 4, or tip number 4, in getting your six-pack and essentially getting that structure strong. Often weak point in a lot of people is their obliques. They forget about that, right? They forget to get their side to side movement within their core, right? Turning left or right, doing those torso rotations. They don't get those strong. So when they're trying to show their abs, their core is essentially lopsided, right? It's like a set of stairs without a railing, right? You gotta have that nice beautiful railing to keep you up, right? To keep you upright, right? It's that support system for your abs. And from having those super strong obliques, you are going to be able to use your abs a lot better, right? You'll be able to put more tags on them, right? And they'll look nice and beautiful, right, when you show them off. Because too many people forget about the obliques, right? They just move up and down, right? The movement that is required to get your six-pack. And you can arguably, right, because that whatever number of abs you have, whether maybe 6, 4, or some people are even super lucky to have 8, you can bring out your obliques and it's like you got a 12-pack and a 14-pack, right? That those sets of obliques will come out as well and add extra abs to you, right? Another dimension of core strength and mastery, right? Because that's what six-pack is. It's a sign of mastery, like I've done this, right? It's like a championship belt around your stomach to show people how fit you are. And you know, for you, understanding these 3 tips, right, and knowing what to do to bring them out in any given moment might be crucial for you, because you want that six-pack. You want to be able to have those abs pop out and support you right when you're lifting weights, because a big part of preventing injuries in weightlifting is achieved through having a strong core. Because if you don't, your weightlifting form is gonna sag, right? It's not gonna have, you know, the support of your core to keep your body upright. You might have back problems and knee problems and so forth. A lot of those have been linked to the core, right? Not having that six-pack. So from you, I hope you enjoyed this video, and give it a like, comment, thumbs up. You know the deal. And we say thank you and goodbye.